Geek Dad Life is here to talk about all of the big reveals from the 2024 New York ComicCon. And we'll talk about what was the best and worst show. All of that and more tonight on Geek Dad Live. Everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. My name is Jay, and with me tonight to dive into all of that New York Comic-Con goodness is the one member of Toy Anxiety that wasn't at the con this weekend, Ryan Doell. Welcome.
Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm always the one that's not there. I've now made it my thing. I will only go. I might not even go to Celebration now.
You have to. You have to, Ryan.
I might go to Japan, but I might not go to Celebration.
No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. It has been promised. You are the prince who was promised for Celebration.
I am going to watch you guys around the corner and just stealthily dodge you guys throughout the convention and be like, I didn't even see you there. How'd that happen?
Oh wait, you guys are here too? What?
I didn't know you guys. I thought for sure you would have canceled.
Doell is everywhere. We just can't see him.
That's right.
Can I just say I really like this strong mustache and then kind of light, very tightly trimmed beard. It's a good look.
Thank you. I'm liking it too. I don't know what I'm going to do about Halloween because I packed my Captain America costume.
Okay. Yeah.
I might have to be Captain Dolmerica and have the mustache and beard because I really like it. I don't want to get rid of it. And I was like, I don't have time now to go try to make a Wyatt Earp style costume either, or a Doc Holliday kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for that now. And I've had this Captain America costume for 2 Halloweens. And I've never taken it out anywhere. So I'm like, maybe I wear it because I really love the costume and it looks so good. And I look jacked in it, but I'm just like, I gotta it's always it's hard to pack. It's hard to travel with that shield.
What if you did the Cesar Romero, just makeup over
but skin colored makeup to be
yeah, exactly. No, this is a clean shaven face.
No one can tell. This is fine. This is fine. Christopher Negri just put, Dum Dum Dugan. If I had the bowler hat, I totally would rock the sweater. And
I love this. It's a slutty Captain America costume.
Yeah.
With the mustache. Oh my goodness. Let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always, even on a Sunday. Also, everybody hit the like button if you can. We should have a lot of fun tonight. A lot of stuff packed in tonight. We're going to talk about all the New York Comic-Con stuff, the big stuff from New York Comic-Con. We have a special guest coming on, I think, around the 10 o'clock hour. He's closing out a Kickstarter. I think it's really cool. We'll talk to him for a minute. And then we got a really fun After Dark as well. I may have burgled something from the Mondo party that we went to on Thursday. So a lot to get into.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the title of it is I burgled something from Mondo. I think I'm gonna rat you out to. I'm doing Peter. It. I'm talking about it on the show.
I don't think Peter's a Patreon, so I think he's gonna.
Well, then maybe if Peter wants to know, he should pay the $5 and find out.
He should pay the $5 to find out what you stole from them, which is probably more than $5. But yeah,
a little bit.
All right,
a little bit more than $5. But that's
you're gonna go to hell for that.
Well, listen, you just gotta tune in and find out what is in this Mondo bag that I burgled out of the Mondo party. That they had at the Barcade. It's just called Barcade. It must be the first one ever in New York. It was a lot of fun. Had a great time. Great time. Nice. But anywho, let's say hello to the chat. Like I said, it's hopping. Let me scroll back a little bit, catch as many as I can. We've got Tony, Country Boy Niner, Studio Henge, Kenton, Damian, Ristori, Flash is here. Tony Taponi, James Venable, Matt Bush, praise be the Bush. We got the Mitch is here. Oh, why can't I click on the Mitch? Sorry, Mitch. I see you. Stanley Eberhard, Ray Alonso, Derek Ova, Doralaxian is here. Brian Carr, Frankie Rivera, Togisaurus, Tony Johnson. A lot of Tonys tonight. Tony Durbano, Johnny Cock in the house, Silver K as well. Smack that like, y'all. Exactly. Hit the like button, everybody. Denny Lewis, Logos Minor, Pablo Gonzalez. Actually, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, I met Logos Minor this past week at ComicCon, New York Comic-Con. So really nice to see you in the chat. Usually, if I meet you in real life, I'll ask like, well, what's your handle? Like, would I know you, or maybe you're a lurker? Maybe come in the chat. So Logos Minor met them this past week. Good to see you, my friend Pablo Gonzalez, Leo, Angry Elf, Mr. Crispex, Dan, Daytherian, Riley Bob, Harpo, Quandrax is here, James, Take Two, Free Reign, Ryan Doell Fan Club. Holy moly, I didn't think there would be an episode tonight, let alone an episode with Dolers. It's coming up Dole tonight. PD Dubs, Ayo, KL, Stinky Cat Butt. Hell yeah, that's a fun name. Shelf Presence. And so many more. Paul Galliano, Geek Dad Live. Let's go indeed. Let's go. We have a couple already super chats. Couple super chats. We got Doomed HUD, $2. Nacelle's making only obscure Star Trek characters, which is great. More Star Trek, better. Good. And then James and Becky, never did a Haslab crowdfund, can use a payment plan option for payment. Is there any word on Plasma Series making more figures after this? We'll dive into that. We'll dive into that Ecto 1 and 1A Haslab and see how it's doing. I think we'll have Brian Brink charts teed up as well to see how it's doing in its first couple days.
I want to talk about it here so I don't have to talk about it on Tuesday.
You're still going to talk about it on Tuesday. And then we've got Shelf Presence gifting 5 Geek Dad Life memberships to our newest members of the GDL family.
I got family.
We got family with the GDL family. And we also got Atomic Yeti becoming a family member. Black Phoenix 77, a member for 26 months. That's 2 years and 2 months. Same for Toy Sorceress. Whew. All right. A lot of things. Okay. Before we get into anything, though, I got to start on a sad note. It's a really sad note. A member of this toy community, the Geek Dad Life community, the toy tuber community at large, Renders FX, or Ryan, which was his actual name, passed away recently. And if you knew or didn't know, I know Mad Hatter made a video. I know Omega J is. I mean, a lot of people have been posting different things about his passing, but he was the main sculptor behind Flipor, which was something that all of us fell in love with here in the toy tubing community, and I've known him for a long time. Was a patron member, part of our GDL Discord, and kind of one of the earliest friends that we kind of made out of that community, and from that kind of had that connection to Mad Hatter to make Flipor a real thing. Busted his butt to work really hard to make it as special as it was, and that wasn't it. He was working on so many more things. I finally got to meet him in person at Comic-Con, spent a lot of time chatting, and the thing I remember the most was just like how excited he was, how passionate he was about Flipor, but even doing things beyond Flipor. And he was showing me these sculpts that he was working on and talking about these mentors that he had that were helping him learn different ways to make toys. And just the thing that I took away from spending time with him in person was just how excited he was about the things that he was creating, being a part of this community, and being really just a really kind spirit, a really just good person that you could tell was really thankful to be a part of all of this, and was really jazzed by just the response to his work on Flipor. So it was awful to hear that he passed away. Just especially, it seems to always be when this happens, especially so young. It just feels like I don't know, just a gut punch. I know there's been a lot of heartache, a lot of tears within our toy tuber community. He has 2 daughters. And they have put together a GoFundMe to try and raise funds. I mean, now for their college, basically to try and, set, or at least set forth, something to help the future of his 2 daughters that he's left behind. I'm going to put, there's a link in the description. So if you're watching this as the replay crew, or I'm going to put it in the chat right now. If you are, if you have anything to give to his daughters, please, if you can, whatever you can give, consider giving to this GoFundMe that's been set up by his wife for his 2 daughters. And hopefully that link worked. If not, I'll just post this short link too that was on the Mega J Retro Instagram. But Ryan, you're gonna be missed. It absolutely sucks. It's just terrible. But I will always remember just that excitement and that love that you had for these figures, and just how positive an impact you were on our community. And even though you're gone, that work lives on. Yeah, it just sucks. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, you covered it. It's heavy. It's heavy stuff, man. Especially when there's family involved. And so, I mean, like I said, the GoFundMe's there. If you have a little, donate a little. If you got a lot, donate a lot.
Yep. Yeah, there's already a great outpouring. And hopefully everybody watching this, whether you're watching it live or watching Afterdark, and give anything, please do. Because it goes to a good cause. All right.
Yep.
That's that. But Doell.
Yeah.
Toys.
Let's
get
into it.
Yeah,
let's get into it.
Jump into it. So I always wonder what it's like when you are not at a con, but a bunch of your friends are at a con and they're like posting all of these things. So what was kind of just your impressions of New York Comic-Con from afar?
I don't know. I was out of town. So for the first bit of it anyways, like the Thursday, Friday, I was gone. So it was just kind of like whatever was kind of showing up on the Discord, whether it was the Geek Dad Life Discord or the Toy Anxiety YHS Discord. Every now and then I would check Instagram and whatever and see something cool and new. And really it was, I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. I had no FOMO really, to be honest, because the news was it was coming out. Everyone was streaming the panels. So shout out to Choi Shiz.
Yes.
Caught him.
Yeah.
Caught a lot of his streams. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
And man, that's funny. Gage just brought up McFarlane. I was just about to bring up McFarlane. Because I was watching that panel and it was like, what a weird panel. Like, I guess all the panels.
We were all in this weird room. It was
maybe that's what it was. Because your panel was weird too. And I'm watching it and I was like, I think Craig needs a straight man on this panel.
Because I should have asked Jacob for the picture he had, because he took a picture of like what we saw, which I think was on his Instagram. But that whole day, all of the toy companies that were doing their panel, like Diamond Select, McFarlane.
Right. Was Hasbro there too?
No, Hasbro had a different room. They were on a different day. I think they were on Friday. They had a panel, and so did Mondo. They had a different room as well. But a lot of the toys were in what was called something pavilion, like the Sea Pavilion or something. And this was my first time at New York Comic Con, so it's at the Javits Center. I've been in the Javits Center before. I've never been to Comic Con, and And basically it was kind of this layered, leveled thing where there's like 4 levels, like, you know, stories and things were kind of tucked in all these different corners. But this panel room was, you kind of walk down this long hallway where it had all the cosplayers and stuff were along that hallway. And then in the very back, there was just this big pavilion that was all glass, like it was open so you could see outside. And they just had all of these tables, all of these just circular tables where people could just sit down and chill out. And then on the other side of all these like chill out tables, which they have as like San Diego Comic-Con and stuff, but there's not like a panel stage right next to that. And basically that's what it was. You had this like chill out area, and then you had this big stage and this huge screen thing to project your stuff on.
Yeah.
And we just did, the panels just happened out into that audience. And it was so weird.
It's okay, because it was like, even watching McFarlane, like, he's out there. It sounded full when he was there, which I wouldn't doubt it was, right? Like, it's
I'd be interested to see, how full it was. Because we actually had a decent, like, I'm not saying we sold out or anything. Okay, it wasn't like packed, but we had a decent amount of people there at 6:30 at night.
Yeah, someone did put, maybe it was Jacob who posted the photo, because I did see it. It looked like there was a lot of people. It just looked like maybe 5 people were there to see you guys, right? It just like
it kind of felt that way. It kind of felt that way.
But when it was like, even with McFarlane, he was just like, "Oh yeah, we got any Snyderverse fans?" You hear like 2 people, you know, and he was just like, "Oh my god, this is wild." But like, people were cheering and stuff for like when they showed like Power Girl and like like anytime, like, I don't know, man. I wish I could get into the McFarlane figures. I feel so deflated by that. Like, nothing there is for me, it feels like, except like the superpowers are there. But even still, it's like the new Robin looks so good. We'll get into the superpowers.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about those. We have to.
Man, like, it looks like such a great wave. And then you're sitting there still going like, man, if only they threw in Black Canary. I'm always going to say Black Canary, because Black Canary is the one we're waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, she's the one. So
really, any would be fine. Anybody that isn't Wonder Woman would be great.
So it's just it's so wild to me. But anyways,
it was wild. I think Derek Hoover says this perfectly. This sounds like you were posted up performing in the middle of a mall. That was exactly it.
Yes.
That was it. Because it was just it was this big open space, and they're, you know, pumping music in the main section, you know, down the way. And so I can't hear Jacob, Abby, and Craig. I can barely hear them. And then I think people heard it during the stream. Somebody started like pumping "Kiss from a Rose." And so all I'm hearing is like, and it's my ADHD brain, all I'm hearing is the music playing over there, and I can't hear them talking over here. It was it was a mess. Dude, it was a mess.
Was so at one point I texted Attack Peter, and I was like, "Can you make sure Craig knows he's the smart Mark Sterling of this panel tonight?" And for those who don't know, smart Mark Sterling is on the wrestling figure podcast, like Matt Cardona's podcast. He's one of the one of the hosts. And whenever these guys talk about things outside of wrestling, like, they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And it's really sometimes infuriating for me to watch, where I'm just like, oh my God. Like, let me I just want to jump in the podcast and be like, guys, it's this, right? Like, just stop, right? And then, because Craig was so busy cracking jokes, that he'd be like, actually, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm like, I see that.
Oh gosh.
But it was really funny. Like, it was funny. I'm not like, I'll rip on Craig harder on Tuesday. But like,
we made the best of it. We made the best of the situation. We had a good time. It was fun.
Yeah, I'm just happy he had a crowd. That's all.
Mr. Chris Bex, I was disappointed Jay said superpowers 3 times and Ryan never showed up. Well, listen, if Ryan doesn't bail out a celebration, I'm going to submit a panel to do a Toy Tubers Unite in Japan.
Great. I can't wait to be the only Star Wars fan on this panel.
Perfect.
Because, well, actually, you know who you should get? You got to get Yoko McCann from Live in La Vida Yoko. And
absolutely. Are they whoever's there?
And
Toy
Kevin
Tubers that are there. Huh?
Kevin will be there as well. So at least
Kevin?
then it's not just me who likes Star Wars. That's going to be on this panel at Star Wars Celebration. As I know you guys all hate it.
Well, I love Star. Get out of here.
Nah, you don't.
I love Star. No, just because I didn't like the damn Cantina place.
Going back to Cantina, you hate Star Wars. That's my toxic ideology. If you don't like what I like, then clearly you hate it, Jay.
So this was my first New York Comic-Con, and I thought it was an interesting experience in that it was a big convention. It was a legit convention, right? I've been to other conventions in other cities, and it's like, okay, cool, this is cute, whatever, nice, but it doesn't come close to San Diego Comic-Con. And this still was not in the scope and scale of San Diego Comic-Con, where that convention, not only is the convention center huge and it takes over all of that, but it takes over like all of San Diego. Now, I know New York is a big city, much bigger than San Diego. And part of the vibe is New York's like, screw you, convention. We're going to still have our thing while you have your little nerd thing over here. But still, it was a legit convention, tons of great stuff, tons of people, vendors there, great panels there. But it was kind of it felt like a mess where, and I know San Diego Comic-Con is overwhelming with just how crazy busy it is and all the people and everything. But at least I felt there was like a semblance and order and structure to the exhibit hall, and there was a sense of like I can find things, because I got lost. I got lost going to the Mondo panel because I couldn't find where
I'm sorry, but I'm going to interrupt you right here.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to New York?
Yes, many times.
Okay, so you think about like what a California convention would be, and you think about what a New York panel would be, or a New York convention would be, two major ones. I don't know. This sounds accurate to me.
It is representative of, you're right, of the melting pot that is New York. But I will say, New York is a city. It's a grid, and it's very easy to get around New York. Like,
right. No, that's true.
Right?
That's true. I think, but it's not so much, I'm not saying like organized in the sense of like, trust me, I would rather, it's way easier finding your way around New York than anywhere in California. Right? Like that's
Agreed.
a given.
Agreed.
Right? But like just the just not saying ideology again. It's like I just wrote a word. What is that? What's the word I'm looking for? There's a certain attitude with New York.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like that convention represents the feeling of New York itself, in the whole of like, here we are. This is us. Come find us. If you need help, we'll let you know. But in the meantime, get out of our way because we know where to go. Right? Like it's just
it's absolutely. And but still, it was a fun experience. I enjoyed the time, and hopefully we get invited back to do another panel next year.
Yeah, I love New York. I know Alice and Alex and I were already talking about not hitting just.
Alex
San
was
Diego
there.
Comic-Con.
Speaking
Alex
of
was there. Well,
Gotham City Tonighters that showed up.
Yeah. It was him texting me a lot too, like just on the way. It was fun. We were both on a train on Thursday going opposite directions on opposite coasts. It was really funny. And then so we were kind of like texting kind of back and forth. So Alice and I are on one train, he's on another, but we were kind of texting each other. We were all talking amongst the three of us of like, we should do not just San Diego, but we should do New York Comic-Con as well.
You should.
Right?
I agree.
Just because we should.
It's again, I love New York City. Visit a lot. This is probably my third time hanging out and running around New York City this year. We did the Ghostbusters premiere. The family and I, we went out and had a New York adventure for Ghostbusters Day this year. And then, this time it was just Colleen and I. It was the first time Colleen and I have had just like hang out in New York time. Went and saw Hamilton.
Nice.
Went all over the place. Again, I love the subway. I love how easy to like public transportation. It's a proper city with public transportation, and that's really nice.
So this city's got that. That city had. Wait. And have you been to Japan before?
No, I'm so excited because I love public transportation, and they're the best, right? So I can't wait. I can't wait.
They are the city that every other place on the planet should. But I found out this coast, the best coast, West Coast, we're getting a bullet train that's going to go from Vancouver.
We're getting a bullet train too. I've been saying it for years. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I actually blame your government more than ours. But I think even Canada has enough space that we should have a bullet train that goes from Vancouver to Toronto. Like, we just should. Or Montreal.
Absolutely. And there should be a bullet train that goes all the way up to the East Coast, and same thing for the West Coast. And then something that connects. I mean, America is really big. That's the problem. It's just too damn big. But anyway, all right. Enough talking about public transportation works.
But I love it. Do you know that Star Tours is technically a bus?
Because something got unveiled or leaked ahead of the unveiling this week. And that is the Ghostbusters Haslab slime blower, technically confirmed.
Hey, I called it. I've got it. They're listening to me. It got leaked early in the week,
and it was kind of, I feel like it was the worst kept secret in the world,
it wasn't a secret though, because look at the logo, for crying out loud.
That's what I'm saying. The logo gave it away, and then they worked a lot with like people that have the replica Ecto ones. Like they did the homework to try and make this thing as accurate as possible. And because of that, it wasn't that big of a secret, other than maybe the specific details of this thing.
I think the specific details, because there was even a point where I was like, well, we didn't get anything for Frozen Empire. And like, that Ecto is loaded and looks completely brand new, right? With the stripes, the gunner seat, it's all clean. Yeah. They weren't going to do an Afterlife.
Yeah,
Ecto. Like, it's just too dirty. It's too, it's not. I mean, it's fun, but it's not like fun. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely.
Right. So, and it's always hard to tell if they're just going to do just another Ecto. But I think, let's just dive right into it. Like, I think doing this Ecto 2 Deluxe with the modifications and all that kind of stuff, I think that's brilliant. That is,
yes,
it's something that I always joke around, say Ghostbusters 2 isn't canon, because Ghostbusters 2 is not canon. It gets overlooked a lot because it's not canon. So it's nice to see that now I feel like it's canon. I now feel
you finally can say it's canon.
I feel like it's part of the franchise, even though there's no Vigo in this Haslab. Now that's just a nitpick. That is right. Now let me get. Someone asked in the chat earlier, I believe you brought it up. Do we think this is going to, do we think Plasma Series continues? I think if this does well, I think if this funds, I have no doubt in my mind that we're going to get more Plasma Series. I
agree. I straight up asked, because they at least for different press, Hasbro invited people to this little press breakfast they do. They do something at San Diego Comic-Con every year, and this one was at the Hasbro offices in New York. And I asked Patrick there, I was like, so if this does well, can we get more? And he's like, it can't hurt. So, I think it is it is a thing. Like, if this thing does well enough, is this kind of at least proof positive that, hey, there's enough of a demand for Plasma Series as a scale of figures to do more stuff, right? And I think that's a great thing. And I think the Marvel Legends team has kind of shown the path forward, right? Where they don't really have huge things left to do for a crowdfund, but you can do pre-orders for, medium scale things or waves kind of of figures or whatever.
We'll get into Marvel Legends in a little bit.
We will.
So I'll save my thought that I'm about to have. But however, with this, I do want to say the one thing that does bum me out is that we are finally getting Ghosts, and they are kind of trapped behind a pay. Like, they are trapped behind a Hasbro.
Yeah.
And I think that is, I understand why, because everything is about, with these bigger companies, even Mattel, all that stuff. They're all about what parts can you reuse. And once you make a Slimer, you've made a Slimer.
Exactly.
And that's kind of it. You do library ghost, you've done a library ghost. I mean, if they wanted to come out with repaints and variants, they could, but I know fans would already be like, but we already got that, because that's how we are with Star Wars all the time. How many ARC troopers do you need to make? Well, right? Do it all the time.
It's kind of one of those things where say, you know, if you're working with constrained budgets, which we know, I guess, you know, anecdotally that, you know, Hasbro is not necessarily, you know, putting 100% behind every single IP that they have. But if you
Power Rangers,
poor Power Rangers. But if you have an opportunity like a crowdfund, like, okay, well, if we get this much money, this can pay for the tooling that maybe the big budget's not giving us or whatever. So it kind of gives you that path to say, okay, we can kind of sneak in some extra tooling that we wouldn't get otherwise if we were just doing another set of figures at retail or something like that.
Right. So this brings up my next thing. So with these being trapped, like with the almost like paid made to order, just like we've seen it with NECA, we've seen it now, and now we're seeing it with Marvel Legends like awesomely with Marvel Legends, might I add. Now, do you think this will be a chance for them to be like, hey, we can do this. We can do a deluxe Vigo with the poster, with Janosch, and Vigo as a 2-pack, and that could be a made to order, or a 2-pack Scoleri Brothers, or a Garaka, or Muncher, right? Like, is this our opportunity?
This has to succeed to maybe make a path for that, right?
Right.
If it doesn't succeed, then we had a good run.
I understand we're not going to get, like, we're never going to get the Super Dragon. I already in my head, it's just like, we'll never get it. It's too big.
Hey, never say never. Like,
I'm saying never. And you could quote me on this. All right? We're never getting it.
Or, Janine, please. Come on. Janine, Mondo's doing it, folks. Mondo's doing it.
We'll get into that too. But this is a great set. Like, the deluxe is just for all the figures you get with it alone pays for its and the mods.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how they set this up, because they're kind of taking a page out of the Cantina set book, right? Where
only better.
You have, but better, absolutely, because you have kind of a base package, and then you have this deluxe package. The base package is $325. It gets you the classic Ecto 1 from the first movie, Gurney, Library Ghost, and Slimer. So there you go. Boom, bam, surprise, $325. It's a fantastic set.
If you have the original 4 figures or anything from Afterlife, just any of the, if you have the set of the you know, the plasma series from before, this is it.
Yep, exactly. Great, awesome. But for only $75 more, you get the Ecto 1A conversion, which again, I did a walkthrough I shared my video of seeing it at that press breakfast on the channel. And so if you haven't seen that yet, you can definitely check it out. But these were prototypes, so they weren't finished. There were some things that weren't right, like one of the lights wasn't working and stuff. But hey, it's a prototype, and that's pretty early to have something like that at the beginning of a Haslab. But still, all the extra lights and everything that are added to the top of the Ecto 1A, plus the decals, not stickers, to spec it that way. Plus, you're getting the 4 charcoal suit GBs with new head sculpts. You get the thermal mug with the balloons for the kids, which I love. You get the toaster. You get 2 slime blowers, which, again, if you've seen the video, they look phenomenal. Like, spare no expense on those slime blowers. And then you've got the slime attachments to go along with that. So you get all of that extra for $75. Like, it's not that much more to get a hell of a set.
And if we get that early bird, that's another figure on top of that.
Yes.
And what is still bonkers to me is that, like, 3 figures is like $75 these days.
You're right. Yep.
So to get like potentially 5 figures for $75, and really you're just for like, and all the accessories. Come on, this is a no-brainer. A no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. Just per figure, pound for pound, you're getting a lot of value out of this. But here's the thing. like I saw a lot in the comments. It happens. It's no matter what you do, like $400, it's not worth it. McFarlane's selling vehicles for $100.
Yeah, but his are cheap plastic.
They are
see-through, not good. Like
they're fine.
They're fine, but you are getting what you pay for, and I guarantee you drop that Batmobile once, and it's shattered. And I guarantee
or at least
if
have
you leave
stress marks on it.
Yeah, and if you leave it out in the open for 5 years, it'll probably already start being brittle. Like, sorry,
and
not
the
sorry.
Thing that that's the thing that I hope the video conveys, and I don't know if you've watched it or not, Doel, but
absolutely,
it looks. And it's a prototype, right? So it's not going to be perfect, but even prototype, which in general they say the prototype is, it'll at least be this or better, but it looks amazing in person. It looks, and I said this to the team, like it looks Hot Toys quality, like, but in that smaller scale. It just looks like the vehicle had been taken off a screen and then put on the table in front of me to look at. And that's the highest praise I can give to it. Again, it's a prototype and there were things that were a little whatever that need to be tweaked. But even with that level of, I don't know, quality, it looked amazing. It looked like, I know it's plastic, but it looked like a Miller Meteor converted hearse that was painted white, had the chrome, had the lights that looked like real lights. And we'll have the sounds and everything. Like I know we a lot of people did that $400 Tomy DeLorean. This is bigger than that, has way more detail, way more electronics and lights than that set. I know that one's stainless steel, I think, so I know there's a cost associated with that, but the fact that you get 2 iconic versions of this vehicle, all of these figures, everything's being thrown into it. I really think that the Lux set is a darn good value.
Right. No, it is. This is so cool. I have one nitpick.
Okay, what's your nitpick?
I wish it came with a Geiger meter.
Ooh, that's fair.
That's it. That's my only real nitpick. Like, again, I still feel like if this does well, like I mean really well, you know, we'll get our Vigo, we'll get our Scalaries, we'll get our Janine, all that stuff. In fact, imagine if they did a Janine 2-pack where you get Ghostbusters 1 Janine and Ghostbusters 2 Janine.
Yes, I want both.
I want both too.
The second they're doing this totally in the, dressed up in the Spangler suit, like I want Janine there zipping up his, his suit or whatever. I want GB2 Janine.
It's like, I want that. I would love if they even did another Dana with an Oscar.
Yeah.
Or even if they did like a Janosch with an Oscar. Like, I don't know. There's just, I feel like Ghostbusters is still like, Hasbro's had it for so long, and I feel only now they have felt that fear with Mondo creeping up behind them quickly, where it's just like, we got to do something.
Yeah.
And it's just like, good. Like, this is exactly why I want Mondo to be doing figures too at a 6-inch scale.
Absolutely.
Because now it's like, now they can't just sit on the franchise and go like, well, we got it. And now it's just like, we don't need to do anything. Now it's like, okay, now do something.
And you're 100% right. And whatever we got, those pre-orders are going to start in a couple of weeks, but whatever happens, and those figures are going to be amazing. And the work that Alex has done, like it is a dream come true, that line.
But I want no both matter how to do amazing.
Absolutely. But whatever that thing becomes, however big or whatever it ends up being, its impact is far beyond that, because I don't know if Hasbro has as much, or maybe whatever Hasbro now does has to be somewhat, they'll never say it probably, but it has to be somewhat like, oh, okay, well, we can't just sit on this. We got to do something because Mondo's out here putting out this amazing stuff, and I think that's good. Right. I think that's good.
And I think it is good. And even though we're all looking at the Mondo figures, they're getting a 2-pack for $200.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cheap. It is still not cheap. However, I still think the fact that they're doing the Ghosts to scale, and they're doing big boys, I think that totally balances out the price, because, if it was anyone else doing, well, take a look at Dragon Man. I think it's a good example. you take a look at the Sam Hain, you take a look at the Boogeyman that's coming out, those figures right now would be all over $100.
I want to plus in a couple things real quick.
Yes, let's do that. As I see that there's some gifts happening and some good
gifts
chatter
being thrown out there. Super Chats McFly Toys, $5. Met them this weekend. It was awesome to see you in Toy Anxiety to do a live show. Hope you all come back next year. That's the plan. And we'll be better prepared, hopefully, or hopefully have a better room. Video Power Gaming, $10 Super Chat Slime Bro confirmed, just like Doell said. Video Power Gaming, another Super Chat, $5. Haslab, Giant Stay Puft, Statue of Liberty, 1 Ecto Tire, Slime Bro Roleplay, Oops, All Goes. And then Mad Hatter Reviews, 20 GDL family memberships. Holy moly, Mad Hatter. It's incredibly generous. Thank you so much to Hatter. All the new GDL family members.
I got family.
Welcome to the family. And then also said, this Haslab will fail. Wow. Mark my words. It'll come in $50 short of its goal. By the way, thank you for boosting the Ryan Doell Fund. He loved the show, even Doell. Yo.
Well, we love him too. And we love you, Hatter. I just want to point that out as well.
Yeah, we love Hatter.
I've been thinking about you all weekend. So I hope you're doing well.
I was too. I was kind of like, I kind of wish you were at New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
How I wish you were here. But they're in spirit. Okay, let's talk about the scale of these things. Something that I found.
Something that scares me.
No.
Well, it scares me. You have a house. You have a house, a giant toy room. Like all you guys live in like dirt cheap America, where you can have a mansion for $50, which is why, which then again explains.
They give them away. They give them away down here, Doell.
Which is why people are like, this Haslab should be $150. My house only cost me $75. I'm not gonna live in this thing. So it's just like, so it makes sense, right? But for us who live in like cities that do things and are insanely expensive, where you have to like live in a closet for like,
Hey, Doell, that's the trade-off for your free healthcare, my friend.
I guess that's half true. Right? So it's just like, whatever.
Sure, we could be bankrupted by the slightest of medical maladies, but we have big houses, I guess. There's the trade-off.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, I mean, if I was able to do my job where my parents live, I'd be also in dirt cheap Canada. But my job says, no, you got to stay here where it costs money. God damn it. Right?
Yeah, it's true. There's expensive places in America too. I just live in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is not.
If you lived in New York, you would have 8 roommates in a 1-bedroom with you, your wife, and your kids. Right? Like, bonkers. So I get that. But what I'm saying is the scale for what I have plus what I have coming, which includes a ghost, right? Everything else. The scale of this scares me because I don't know if I can properly display it. It'll have to be one of those things that shift in and out.
You have room. I'm going to confirm it right now.
Oh, dude, I'm getting it. Like, you don't get me wrong. This isn't one of these things where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should. No. I screwed up once with Galactus. Never again. Never again.
It is not. I mean, it's big, but it's not. I would say it's less. Like if you have, it is definitely smaller than the Thunder Tank. Like in terms of like shelf space being eaten up. If you have the Super 7 van, I would say it's probably a tad longer than that, but it's definitely not taking up as much space as the Super 7 Turtle van. It's definitely bigger than the NECA van. I would say it is not stupid big.
Right.
It is not space prohibitive. In the amount of space that it eats up. Now, if you're getting 2 of these things, that's a horse of a different color. We'll talk about that in a second. But
did you get 2?
I will get to that. Just put a pin in that. Just gonna make sure Colleen's not watching. But the thing that I love,
she's going to bed.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, you're good.
I should have spec'd it out to do a cardboard model of mine. Dan, you're 100% right.
See Todd's 7-foot playset of cardboard. Anyways,
like, the Dragonfly is bigger. Like, it's definitely bigger, and the Rattler I think is bigger than this is. Those are planes and helicopters. This is a car. It's a big car. The converted millimeter hearse ambulance is a big car, but it's still a car. Yeah. And but the thing is, they kind of scaled it up a little bit. Like, it's not slightly smaller than 6-inch scale. They scaled it about the 6.5-inch scale, is what they were saying. So
I actually think that's better.
It is, because, and this will never be an official part of the promotion for this thing because it can't. But this thing will work with your Matty Collector figures. It should. It's not 100% confirmed yet. It'll at least be in scale from the outside, but maybe even could still sit on the inside. Should work with Diamond Select figures. So if you already have those and you don't want to buy another set of figures, right? Or even though it is not the same look or anything, and I hope Mondo does an animated one at some point in time, but it'll scale with the real Ghostbuster figures that Mondo's putting out there. So like it can, no matter what movie Ghostbuster figures you have, this Ecto can work with any of them in that scale, which I think is great.
That I love that. First off, yeah, I just like that that's all kept in mind.
Yes.
Like, because it's just, I don't know, it's awesome. And yes, this car won't look necessarily right with your RGBs. But I mean, a car is a car.
Yeah.
Right. And I hope, and to double up what you said there too, I also hope that Mondo gets around to an Ecto. I understand it'll be expensive, but that's another that them two they'll if they can, they'll pull out all the bells and whistles for it too.
Yep. So let's talk about it. There are two options for this thing, Doel, and I think Colleen's still watching this. So Colleen, I'm so sorry. You're gonna have to. You knew what you were getting into when you married me. Okay. I think I need to, because I love the Ecto 1, obviously, but I love the 1A, I think, more. I've always really dug how extra the 1A was. I loved, even like seeing it as a kid. I was like, oh yeah, they took it up a notch. With the the caution tape and all the extra lights and stuff. And then
I never, unless you're Craig, Abby, and Jacob, I will never look down on anybody that says they prefer Ghostbusters 2. And because for a lot of us, and myself included, that was the first time we got to see Ghostbusters in theater. So it's special.
Yes.
Right? We're at the peak hype of the cartoon, which we love. Which I love. Hey, want to hear my take? I love the cartoon more than the movies.
I agree. Cartoon number one for me, for sure.
First two seasons, those first two, I will always take I'll take a light doo-doo on the later seasons when they changed up Janine.
Agreed.
But man, those first two seasons are solid.
They're perfect.
And because you're on that hype of that show, which is your Saturday morning church ritual, right? With your favorite cereal. Mine was Golden Grams at the time. There's no bigger hype than when Ghostbusters 2 came out at that time.
Yeah.
Right. Between that and Batman, life was
89. What a year. What a year.
What a year. Right? Like those. Yeah. Like, I think about it, and it's like 89 might have been one of my most influential years of my life.
Same. And it may just be our generation or whatever, but yeah, like 89, Batmania, Ghostbusters back in theaters, Back to the Future Part 2, the Last Crusade. God, there's just like that year is so pivotal.
It is and iconic.
And so the 1A, I absolutely love. I've always loved the gray suits. Those are my favorite suits just because it was different.
Hey, do you have a flight suit of your own?
I do, but it's the same flight suit I've had for like 25 years, and it's
I think we're gonna
not.
have to update you.
Yeah, it's not movie accurate at all. Like it's barely movie accurate.
Oh,
So
don't worry. The only people that care about it are like sad losers. Just wear what you want.
But if I've always told myself when I do it right, like when I try and get a good looking flight suit as accurate as possible, I want it to be the charcoal suit
because when the next Haslab is the slime blower, you're gonna need it.
Yeah, I'll need it.
You're gonna need it.
But so with that in mind, I think I need two. I think I need two because I want the 1 and the 1A in my display. I want the figures, and I don't want to live in a world where I have to have one or the other on display. I want both. Why not both?
That's totally fair. I know BC DeLorean, another movie cars, my boy, back over here as well. He has an Ecto. He's got a replica Ecto.
Yes, he does.
And I know he's getting one, so I think he's gonna do one way. I'm gonna do mine the other way, and we're gonna, Keymaster and Gatekeeper. We're gonna get these two together.
I love that. So I thought about it, and today I officially I bought two. I've committed to two.
So just one base and one deluxe. Obviously,
I did a base and deluxe. I did a base and deluxe.
So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do like a giveaway with your extra Slimer and library?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Let's do a giveaway. Not sell them to try and recoup some of my costs. No, let's give them away.
Let's do what you just said. Just for peace of mind. I didn't even say that. I didn't even think of that. It's because it's not Star Wars. You know what I mean? Where you could buy a Haslab, sell one figure, and you've bought your Haslab back. Like Star Wars fans, insane. Marvel Legends fans, like just toy collectors are insane.
We gotta do what we gotta do sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to. I'm curious. I want to know. I'm gonna drop a poll in the chat. So let me plus it in here. To see what people are doing here, and then we'll get into the Brian Brink charts to see how it's doing. And good Lord, this is taking up way too much time talking about this. I'm so sorry.
Well, there's lots to say. It's exciting. Anytime a Haslab is dropped, it's going to chew up the time. But yes, can we move on to Marvel Legends? We
can. I do, but I just want to put in a poll. What are you going to get with the Ecto Haslab? Nothing. Or one. Or a base, deluxe, or both.
Nice.
So I'm putting it in the chat. Let us know what you're doing if you're gonna with it, or maybe just one or the other, or none at all.
Yeah. Well, not everyone lives in dirt cheap America where they just drop food off and you don't need to buy groceries. And
I gotta let's look at Brian Brink's charts. I will say, again, hanging there with the Hasbro peeps in the Hasbro office in New York City. They were kind of on pins and needles waiting for this chart to drop. And it's up live now.
Well, even Craig was asking about it, like in the Toy Anxiety Discord, and I was already like, hey, I think Brian Brink signed an exclusive. Only Jay can see it first. The only way people are gonna see it is on Geek Dad Life. And after that, it's like when Mattel does a thing with Target. It's like first year is an exclusive. After that, you can see wherever.
No, Brian Brink's charts are open for everybody. I'll put a link. It's always on, it's hosted on geekdadlife.com. But it is, if you have your own stream, anything on geekdadlife.com, please, you're welcome to use it on your streams. But so let's check in to see how it is doing. Currently is at over 5,100 backers, and it's pacing a touch below the Proton Pack. Day one, it was actually pacing a little bit better than the Proton Pack, and over the weekend, it's just dipped a little bit below that. And what's nice is he has added the early bird Tully line, which is 2 weeks. I believe it's this or November 2nd, I think. When that
I hope it happens in 2 weeks.
Me
even
too.
Even if it flatlines after that 2 weeks, I just want to know that the Tully is getting made.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Then, like, it can flatline till the last 2 days. I don't care.
I know that the Ghostbusters Hasbro team's really into trying to hit that goal as well. Already confirmed with them, they'll be jumping on at some point in time between now and the Tully deadline to talk about the Haslab, answer questions and stuff like that that anyone may have. But as it goes, it is start out solidly. It's not as strong as the Trap PKE. That's the pink line right here.
Right.
And then the average G.I. Joe classified, which is probably kind of best in class, at least with recent Haslabs. You can kind of see how those ones have done. But it has done pretty darn well for sure. So
I just hope it does well, but it's a good start. No, that's if you were like, oh, this is like, Engines of Vengeance numbers, right? And I saw that too. There's a lot of comments. People like, there was one dude in particular. Doesn't even matter what his name is. I don't remember it. And the person doesn't deserve a shout out anyways. He went on it would show up on every post that Hasbro would make about the Ecto 1.
Yeah.
And it'd be the same thing. Guess you guys didn't learn anything from the Engines of Vengeance. It's just it's like, to even compare the two, first off, is ridiculous. And I actually think if the Engines of Vengeance did the exact same thing this one just did, where they didn't have the tiers. In fact, I will go out on a limb and say this. I think they should get rid of tiers.
Agreed.
I think this is it. I think this is, you either get the base or you get the deluxe, and that is it. Right?
I agree. I think dropping the tiers is a great move, right? And I know some people might grumble about the early bird thing, but you have 2 weeks here. I think it's a good amount of time. And the beauty is it's not like only the early backers get it. No, everybody gets it if it gets unlocked, whether you just got the base or the deluxe during the Tully period or after. If it unlocks, everybody gets it. And then there's no hemming and hawing over, we're gonna get and unlock, Egon in the charcoal suit. We got 3, but we didn't get them all. Like, just give it to everybody. And and then everybody's happy. And
agreed.
To me, the less we can have fears for tiers and less people less shouting and more people feeling that true feeling of being head over heels.
I thought you were going to do the Janine We Got One. That's what I thought you were going to play.
Oh, shoot. Now, I got to say We Got One for when we actually cross
For when we actually get it?
Yeah. We can't say we got one until we actually got one.
Until we actually got. But I'm looking at all of that now, like all the stuff that we didn't get included and stuff, and it's kind of like, I think, even though I wouldn't want necessarily the deluxe, I didn't need the deluxe for the Cantina. But if they said, hey, the deluxe is going to come with the tonicas, the bartender, these 3 extra figures, like, I would have been like, okay.
Right?
Got it. Considering the price of the Haslabs to begin with include as if all the tiers were unlocked.
Yes, exactly.
So why not just do them anyways?
Yep, agreed. Completely agreed.
Just have us pay the price we're meant to pay, and then all we have to do is just fund it.
Yep.
That's it. Those are my thoughts. Those are my.
You gotta pay the Doell toll. That's what I always say.
Please, please just pay it.
We have a super chat from Mike Traverso, a significant super chat. I gotta scroll down to plus it in right now. $20 super chat. That same $400 for me can be used to get 4 Mondo real Ghostbusters figures with accompanying ghosts. And it seems that Mondo will space these out. I can't do both. Great to see Haslab evolving though. Yeah, and again, like you gotta spend your money where you can, and totally like. If the Mondo thing's more your speed, that's great. And the fact that Ghostbuster fans have these many options is so good. It's such a great thing.
I agree.
And then I also want to plus in Allison Troy. master of research here, as well as her own phenomenal channel, Allison Choi, Retro Toy Princess. Gifted 5 GDL family memberships to those new family members. Welcome.
I got family.
You got family with the GDL family. All right, we're gonna go into Marvel Legends, but I gotta bring somebody in. We're running a little bit long. But we're gonna have Brandon from 9 to 5 Warriors has series 2 kickstarting right now.
Yeah, I saw Kevin do a big review on them on Toying Around.
Yeah, and it's like it's the last week, and it's really close to if it's hitting its goal. So we definitely want to do our part to help out a really, really cool toy line. So let's welcome for the first time to the GDL verse, Brandon. Welcome, Brandon.
What's up, guys? How you doing, man?
Doing well. Hopefully you're okay. Not jumping into 95 right away. We got to jump into some more reveals if that's okay.
It's all good, man. No, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just forgive the background. I'm in a hotel. I was at a Cincinnati ComicCon for the past 3 days.
Ooh,
so
fun.
It's pretty cool. Been in like a pitch mode, so a little low energy. Hopefully
that's okay. That's okay. All right, let's talk about it. I did want to just plus in this slide I had of Craig looking at the Ecto one, by the way, before
which is awesome. And I've been I'm back to deluxe, by the way. I've been super stoked about that.
Nice. Okay, good. All right. Did I lose the poll? I think I lost the poll.
Well, that's
did not go live. That stupid poll.
Ugh, I voted. I saw it.
Okay, then where is it? I can't see it anymore.
What happened?
I don't know. It's not there. Usually it stays like floating on the. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I couldn't see it. I was not scrolled up all the way. But before we move on to the Sentinel, let's see where you all voted. 43% of you said nothing. 43% of you said deluxe. 43%. That's a sizable amount for the deluxe option. 11% said both. And 1% said base. So funny enough, the base isn't getting a lot of backs. Most people are going for deluxe or doing both to get to vehicles there, which is a sizable amount considering there's 500 and something people watching right now, and over 200 votes in that poll. So there you go.
That's
all or nothing. Yeah. All right. Doel.
Yeah.
You love your X-Men.
I do.
What was your thoughts on seeing this X-Men 97 Sentinel pop up? Pre-orders, no Haslab, no crowdfund. You pay for it, you get it, and you get it for a lot cheaper than the Haslab.
You pay for it when it ships, which is October 2025.
Yes.
So I also want to remind people, as exciting as it is to buy multiples of these, remember, you're gonna pay for it in October, no matter what it is. And if anyone has noticed the trends with Hasbro, there's a lot of Haslabs that drop in October. So you have to keep future self in mind when you're buying these. Because I was still like, I'm gonna get 2. And then I was like, well, that's $300 US, that's 10,000 Canadian. I gotta be very careful. Right. So, but so just for right now, to maintain that I get 1, I just pre-ordered 1. If I feel like next month that I can, maybe I can put some aside and get 2. But remember, October is also New York City Comic-Con next year, and I plan to go to that. So it's just like I had to really forecast my future spending to make sure that I wasn't going crazy. The other great thing I like about this is that they did make this smaller and that you can incorporate your other Haslab Sentinel to go with this, because the first thing I did was I texted Ryan Ting and I was like, dude, I already know my setup. I'm going to take my Haslab Sentinel. I'm going to use the portrait or the head or the face swap, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to take the one of Master Mold. I'm going to put it on the bigger one. So now I've got the big one that can sit there and then have another Sentinel there. So it's like, they're closer to scale. So now you can have that ultimate Sentinel laboratory factory display. And I'm very excited about it.
Absolutely. And got to chat with Ryan Ting at the Hasbro breakfast. It was great to catch up with him. He had this sense of relief and happiness that it wasn't a Haslab distress about. I was just like, here it is, buy it if you want to buy it and not have to worry about hitting some threshold.
Right.
And so I think this is great. I think this is absolutely great for fans, especially those that didn't get the Haslab. It's coming in a lot cheaper than the Haslab was, and it is smaller. It is huge, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't, like, seeing it in person.
Yeah,
it still feels imposing. It still feels great. I gotta be completely honest. I have one Sentinel. I have the Haslab Sentinel, and I have my X-Men fighting the Sentinel, just like it is here in this display. Do I sell my Haslab and just get one of these?
Well, it depends on what you want for your setup.
I know.
Yeah,
that's where I'm kind of at right now.
Right. That's why I'm not selling my Sentinel. Well, I wouldn't anyways, because I have so many Sentinel figures, Jay, like so many. Because like I've been getting the Sentinel since like the late 1900s, and every time they release a Sentinel, I get it. So whether it was the Water Wars X-Men line, the original cartoon line, all that stuff, I'm Sentinel giddy. They're fun. They're fun beat 'em ups, right? So
yeah.
I don't know. It's going to depend up to you, but I think for what you want, Jay, I think if you sold your Sentinel to pay for these, I don't think you would have the FOMO later, if that makes sense.
Sure, that makes sense. No, it makes perfect sense. Brandon, what was your thought? I don't know if you're a Marvel Legends collector or what were you thinking about this thing?
I definitely want it. It's tough. Like when the Ghostbusters dropped as well. Like I had both of them in my cart.
Yeah, so did I actually. I did. And I took the Sentinel out.
I'm mad that I missed out on the Haslab Sentinels completely, but then I was like, I don't even have the space for it. So like I'm trying to like press the button because I know I don't have space for it, but it's like, look at that setup. Like I kind of wasn't sold until I started seeing like the setup of the other figures laid out, seeing the articulation in the hands, like just holding like Cyclops. It was just like, yeah, I kind of want it. I don't know.
It has that finger articulation that the other one had to it. Like it's really cool.
It is cool.
And I have the sweet spot for the animation series, so like this is a definite. Yeah. I'm just gonna end up probably getting it, but I really don't want to. But I do really like it.
But this is a very close design to the Sentinel we all knew from the comics as well.
Yes.
Like so, when we were getting like the Marvel cards, the X-Men cards, and just that 90s era Sentinel, this was it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think my only nitpick is that the chest doesn't open up that you can put a figure inside like the original toy.
Yes.
I have. So if I was at my house, you'd see my setup. It's all mostly vintage, but I have the Toy Biz Sentinel still unopened. Love the packaging, and that's the best feature. You just pop in like Wolverine and whatnot.
Yeah, I love that. I like that it had the rocket punch. And it does make me hope that down the line we'll get another Sentinel that looks like it's from the Capcom fighting games.
Oh yeah, well, we're getting the 2-pack, right? Which is Capcom. Sorry,
Capcom fighting games. Rocket punch.
Yeah. But yeah, to me, Darth Datherian's saying, yeah, we got the Bishop already. That was wave 2. We got Bishop, or was that 1? We got Bishop.
Wave 2.
Yeah, he's great.
And they also, Ryan Ting said at their panel that there is a wave 3 on the way.
Exactly.
Deathbird, come on, give us Deathbird.
But I think yeah, I'm kind of feeling like I want this one more than the Haslab, but maybe just a FOMO thing. I just need to chill out and be happy with what I have. But I kind of want this
I don't
one
know,
more.
man. I think this is a sexy Sentinel.
It's beautiful. It looks so
This
good.
is it. Right? Like I think
so
even if you got 3 and you had like and you kind of like, Mighty Ducks them out. And I just think I don't know, man. There's something about 3 of them kind of all back to back facing, X-Men, or even if you want one of these to put with your Brotherhood of Mutants as well, to show like Blob holding up one of the feet. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's so much here. There's so much here. I love it.
And again, at $179, it's not it's not cheap, but it's not a bank breaker. See, Adam, you can't do this stuff to me.
With the logistics, you sell the Haslab one, you could probably afford 3 in the aftermarket.
That's
I
true.
know, but now is the aftermarket for the Haslab going to drop because this one's coming out?
I don't think so.
Know.
I don't think it will.
Let's see. All right, Brandon. I know you've been busy. You've been stumping hard for 9 to 5 Warriors. Let's do a quick
let's get into it.
Jump into that. And talk about your Kickstarter that you have for Series 2. And here's the thing. Here's the deal, folks. No joke. We are, or you are, Brandon, less than $3,000 away from hitting your $45,000 goal. And I don't know if you know this or not, Brandon, but there's something known as the GDL bump.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm hoping there's 543 people watching right now. And don't worry if you're like, gee, I just want to talk about NYCC stuff. We're gonna go right back to NYCC stuff. Don't worry. But I really do want to call out, because Series 1 is really freaking cool. It's like you're tapping into that Food Fighters kind of aesthetic and feel. And the stuff that you're bringing here in Series 2 looks to continue that in a really, really fun way. And you're so close to hitting your goal. So I'm going to put the link to your Kickstarter in the chat. It's also in the description to this episode. But what is your pitch for this second series of 9 to 5 Warriors?
Absolutely. So like, it's definitely just giving back to like the old school oddball toys. And you mentioned Food Fighters, but when you think about Ninja Turtles, it's like the ultimate oddball toy, like of that time period.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, like I'm here at Cincinnati because I wanted to meet Eastman. He's like one of the biggest inspirations for creating my own toy line. So it's kind of just cool to meet him and then hand him one of these toys and see his reaction. So I gave him the set and he had me like sign it, which was kind of super surreal because I had
that's cool.
My collection. But nonetheless, this was just an ode to the love letter to the time period when I grew up, like 80s and 90s. I felt the toys of that era just were so creative and so fun. And I just trickled it down to the stories and, the quirkiness of the characters. So honestly, 12 years ago when I started this project, I started there. I want to make a toy. I don't know how, but let me just start with, trading cards, the comic books, anything I can like Google how to create really quickly or produce little, and then slowly but surely I just finally got the toys made, which has been like an uphill battle, honestly. So it's kind of, but the trade shows and like seeing people's reactions and they're like, whoa, this is like new. This you made this, and or the kids running and they're like Pringles and they're playing with like the safety. I'm like, I'm on the right track. I feel good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's been awesome to work with some of the legends like Scott Hensey, who helped me bring this to life. He's known for Ninja Turtles, Street Sharks, Toxic Avengers, Exo Squad, Happy Meal toys, like everything from the 80s and 90s that like was part of my collection. He did as well. And then the digital sculptor is Seba from Planetary Dog Toys, who's behind like Plunderlings, which is amazing, another indie brand. He's done some crazy stuff. So I love being able to work in like both of those worlds, like hand sculpted in the digital realm. But yeah, like you let me know what questions you have and I can ramble for days.
No, to me, what I love is you tap in, or you are tapping into, I guess, just that mindset of where kids are at today, but even when we were kids, because like just how if you're sitting at a school desk and you're bored, so you just start to come up with ideas to like make your pencil, a character that's taking off on an adventure, or taking a rubber band ball and turning him into a warrior with a freaking bandolier of was that firecrackers around him there. I love the missile marker. Yeah. One of my favorite things, I mean, making little weapons and stuff like that. I remember in Gremlins 2, like Gizmo made that bow and arrow out of that like paper clip, and I used to make those and like try to shoot paper clips at my friends across the way or whatever. So I feel like what these figures have done, and even you're tapping into even more here with Series 2, is that kind of that kind of dreamscape that we would have as bored kids to create adventures with these mundane objects that may be around us.
And that's the goal. Like I'm really trying to like unlock the creativity and imagination within, like, because this idea started like back in 2012. At the time I wasn't collecting toys, and funny story, like I walked into a toy store at that time and I literally was smacked with nostalgia, and I just remembered like, damn, like we had it good. Like talking about 80 where I came on, like we really had a gold rush of great IP, great stories, great characters. And the first thought was like, I want to create that future nostalgia for the kids growing up today. There's just something, you know, it was like, I need to make a toy. And so like that's how the journey started, because going back to like, yeah, playing with my school supplies, Major Eraser, for instance, is a creation I used to make as a kid. Stick a thumbtack in the eraser eye, like draw on his face, paper and the bow and arrow thing. And it's one of those things like, I don't know if the bow and arrow paperclip was something we all learned from Gizmo, or Gizmo reflected, you know, the creativity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what's cool is that later on, if you scroll down, always wanted to, again, invoke that creativity. So Battle down, there's like a little segment called Battle Bits, which pretty much it connects for adults. I think it's really
it, or no? Where is it at?
No, keep going down, like past the unlocks. So Specialist Sugar.
There we go. Specialist Sugar is awesome, by the way.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can get to that too. The purple can. Battle Bits. Here we go.
One more scroll down so you can see the pieces itself.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so basically those are like elements to literally build the world around you, and the toys are really meant for you to transform, whether it's your desk, your cabinet. I was like, you don't have shelf space for them in your fridge, you know, like it fits in that world. And creating little battle bits is my work around like building really expensive accessories. Like people, when they first saw this, like, oh, we're gonna build accessories, I'm like, yeah, let me get the toys out first, but I promise that's gonna come. So with this, you can actually take BYOS, bring your own supplies kind of thing.
I love that.
Nice.
Build a helicopter, you can build a tank, you can build catapults. And what these look like is like little oddball scraps. We can actually inject like pencils, pens on that same size. And then you can also, you know, just build anything around you. So like the idea is like, I want you to see a soda can next to you and like, that could be a submarine, or that could be this, like just transform everything.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That is super fun.
That's so cool. Honestly, I feel like you need to make little packages of these and like put them where, you know, you're checking out at Target and stuff like that. 'Cause I guarantee, like, if my kids saw those just hanging there next to the packs of chips or whatever, candy bars, like, oh, I need that. I need to add that to the shopping cart right now, because it definitely.
I need Staples and Office Max to back this. That's
exactly,
yes,
for sure.
That'd be awesome.
Sure. But yeah, I mean, I guess so it looks like we have, let's see, we got Sergeant Sport, $30. Number 2, I also love that the cocktail sword is there, because how many times do we do that's good? But even now, we go to this one restaurant and I get a sandwich that has the cocktail sword in it, and my kids fight over like who gets to have the cocktail sword, because they want to have it then play and you know, stab each other with.
Those little details are literally trickled throughout all of the characters.
Love it so much.
But that goes to the scale as well. Like, I want you to, like, again, grab anything that's around you. Like, you could. I saw a recent review that was like, man, I really wish Colonel Custer came with more accessories. Like, maybe it could have been like a coffee stick wand. And he's like, wait, I'll just do it. He's like, gross, just coffee stick wand.
Right, exactly.
Push pins. I was like, that's pretty dope. I was like, I might steal that.
No, that's. I think that's perfect. And yeah, I think also the price is really good. You're at $25 for the standard figures. It gets a little bit bigger for the bigger ones. And I really hope, because I think was it 60,000 you unlock the sugar, and then the bucket, a can of corn, or is it a can of nuts? What are we calling that?
Yeah.
So I hope. Awesome. I hope those get unlocked. I think those are really, really cool. And yeah, and it's really close to getting funded here. Let's do a little refresh, see if anybody's been backing while we've been doing this thing. I'll put the link in the chat again. But yeah, I think I really, how many days do we have left of this? Friday? So we got a week left or so, almost.
Yeah. So it's been good, man. Like, honestly, it's like, clearly I'm in this classic nostalgia world. When I worked on it back in 2012, there actually was a void of it. And that's kind of what I wanted to like fill. There literally, you have to remember a time where there wasn't a new Ninja Turtles or something coming out.
Right?
And I was like, damn, this was literally before 2012. So I'm like, shit, man, like there's just something I want to create that it just reminds me of that time. And it's just taking me this long to get it out there. But like I said, at the shows and everything, it's really great to watch people's reactions and just like see them sucked in, like get create here, feel the toy rather than like you're playing with the toy. You
Yeah,
that emotion to it. So it's pretty dope. How I don't know. I'm just stoked that it's out there. It's super surreal to see them being added to collections out there in the world. So I'm just proud of it.
yeah, you should be very proud. I think it's really, really cool. It is like kind of like Computer Warriors. It's has that feel. It has that feel of Food Fighters, and it definitely you could tell it's inspired by that era, but also kind of doing something new as well, which is always really cool. We love.
There's another
promoting that era.
comparison that I think people are missing because I can already picture the commercials. There's a little bit of like California Raisin Warriors kind of happening here too. And like I could totally see claymation commercials to advertise this.
Yeah,
And I think that kind of aesthetic and look, especially when I'm looking at the can for the container for the nuts.
For sure.
And the nuts, like it's just like it just has me go. I can see it talking. Like I already know how it'll look when it talks. And I think that's what makes these designs really special and nostalgic for me.
Thank you.
Because I can hear this while I'm even looking at it. Like, so the characters are there. They're very distinct. I think these are awesome.
Agreed.
Go to 9to5warriors.com. You talked about like stop motion, clay motion. So what was cool is I worked with stop motion Zach, and he brought them to life. And I was kind of worried. I'm like, I don't know how well they'll move. You know, they are classic articulation, and just stay there until it clicks right there. And like,
right? Yeah.
Little video, and like you could just feel the characters that you're saying, like everything. And I was like, holy shit! Like I was like Christmas for me. What?
Yeah.
That's so cool. It's so cool.
I do hope that you eventually do a Christmas wave and you have them all fighting in a Christmas tree. I just hope I just hope that happens.
A little Debbie Christmas tree.
Yeah, dude. The possibility truly endless with this. Like I just can't wait to keep unlocking like new storylines and new characters, and I mean, I'm excited about it. That's what keeps me in it.
And plus, you got the Scotch tape guy. He'll fit in great around Christmas time.
He will,
right?
For
like
sure.
So I don't know. There's a lot here that you can go with, and it's very exciting to see. I think this is a lot of fun.
Yep, agreed. So again, I put the links in the chat, is in the description for our replay crew. This Kickstarter goes through this Friday. Like we said, it's only a couple thousand away from being funded, and then after that, not too far away from unlocking the sugar and corporal can. Because those are pretty awesome as well. I hope we can get to those. Also love that you're doing a glow in the dark. I think that should be standard for any Kickstarter. Do a glow in the dark figure. But yeah, Specialist Sugar and Corporal Can are the big unlocks. So hopefully we can cross that 45,000 threshold so we can get to those. But still, Brandon, a really freaking cool toy line.
Thank you.
And really hope this does successful and more series are to come. Thank you for coming on tonight. I know you're gassed, but that's Kickstarters, right? You're gonna be on probably 100 streams throughout the rest of this week.
I'm blessed. Like, listen, like honestly, no matter what happens, I'm gonna keep moving forward. Like, this is what's great about it. Like, I just believe in the characters so much. I believe in the storyline. Like, I know it's gonna be on TV one day. Like, I've already talks. Like, it's like sitting back and like I get to talk about the passion I have, and I'm just blessed. So I'm grateful for everyone that is chiming in and like supporting the line. Those that have been there from the get-go know how hard I've been working, and you know that's what's cool.
Well, there's a few people in the chat that know how hard these Kickstarters are as well. So
absolutely.
Right.
It's Ryan, like Kickstarter is like a blessing and a curse. Like it's really you're putting everything out there, and it's like you don't know what people's financial situations are right now. Just like I hate asking for money up front. Like literally, I'm like that's why I did the Big Bad Toy Store route the first time because you can literally pre-order. By the way, you can pre-order the Big Bad Toy Store. Just throw it. But the benefit of like I don't want your money right now. Like I still got that's too much stress.
Yeah.
Before I went to production. So now I feel way more comfortable. I know my factory, and like wave one is just executed beautifully. And I will get you guys a set still. You see the paint lines, the quality of the plastic, everything came up phenomenal. Stoked. Like I have to like back my word. Before that, I was like, yeah, I want to make toys. We'll figure it out. But now I'm like, I'm making toys.
And that usually you can actually see them. You're not just like putting this money up and you don't know what it'll actually end up being. You have that proven level of quality. If you want to back it, links are everywhere.
Yes.
And Brandon, thanks for coming on and chatting about it tonight.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Brandon, have a great rest of your night. Get some rest up. You're gonna need it.
WKRP in Cincinnati. I love it.
Have a good one, guys.
All right, take care, Brandon. Bye.
Thank you.
Awesome. Brandon, dude. What a cool dude. I
realize that every time we have someone on that's pitching like new toys, I'm already telling them what their next wave should be. I do this every time. Every time. It doesn't matter who it is. It's Brutal Realm. I do it. Right? It's Monsters. I do it. 9 to 5.
Hey, listen. I know. I think it's great. It's that Ryan Doell touch, you know?
It's just exciting. It's exciting to see these fun things coming out, and maybe I should start my own toy line instead of giving everybody else ideas.
I think you should. But yeah, please, if this entices you or it excites you, please go back it today. All right. Let's kind of try to shotgun through the rest of these things.
Okay.
All right.
Let's buy as many as you can.
Please.
There it is. Okay. Mondo. Yes.
This in the comment section for the live stream, the panel, somebody said these panels are turning into Mondo commercials because they're there watching the panel. And I understand that sentiment, but they drop so much stuff. How could we not talk about it? And this one, while it's not like a shocker that they're going to do a 1/6 scale Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line. They've done several other, and they had done turtles in the past. But just how cool this concept looks. It's a really neat idea. Doell, what was your thoughts on seeing these concept images for this 1/6 scale Donatello?
Oh, my first thought was, where's the movie? Can you like, come on, Nickelodeon, this is it. It's because this feels like Ninja Turtles 4.
Right?
Or even hey, if I'm going to throw it really out there, this is what TMNT 3 should have looked like. Hell, this is what TMNT 2 should have looked like.
You're going up to the line of where people will say no.
Where people are going to get mad at me, but it's just like I'm with Therian. I keep always saying
Therian. He took out the R.
He took out the R. How dare he? It's making me. I'm not going to dead name him, so it's Therian.
Therian, yeah.
I also agree. I think what was it? Craig and Jacob and Abby. Where did Doctor have glasses? It's just like. He's always had glasses. He just wore contacts in the 80s. I think Donatello with the glasses is the best. I think he looks the coolest with the glasses. I think it makes him stand out. I think
I'm good either way. Yeah,
I really am good either way, but I do prefer him with the glasses. I think that was the best thing to come out of the Michael Bay era Turtles.
I know, Michael Miller, if it's not your style, I get it. But the good thing about Turtles is you got plenty of options.
You got plenty of options. And
it's like Sequential's talking about here. Do you like the Toy Joy design or these Mondo more? I like these more because I feel like this connects to the spirit of Turtles that I love. Which for me, it's like the toys and the 1990 movie are like in my mind, my head canon for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I feel like this somehow does both. And I've enjoyed some of the things 2012 has done, Mutant Mayhem has done. Yep. And I feel like this just somehow distills all of that into one character. And and I really dig it.
It's got this feeling of like you're saying, like I feel some mutant mayhem in this.
Yeah,
I feel Secret of the Ooze in this.
Yeah.
At the same time, I feel like this could also this feels like it could be a sequel to a movie while mixing in, like you said, just all those bits and pieces that we love from either the IDW comics or wherever. I feel like it's put here. Again, if you're gonna be bitching about like why does he shouldn't have glasses, well, guess what? Then he shouldn't have a fanny pack either. But I love both. And so I love the fanny pack. Glasses or no glasses, I am not a picky eater when it comes to my Donatello. This is so cool. I can't wait to see the rest. I can't.
Yeah,
and I hope, again, just like anything else, I noticed this is just the trend in toy collecting in general. If you want more, you got to buy the ones that are out.
Yep.
So I hope this does well, because again, we want to see the whole collection. But man, what I would do to see a Henson style Bebop Rocksteady Krang.
Yep.
Oh man, give it to me.
And so yeah, I'm really pumped for this as well. And it's I was kind of burnt out on Turtles, not gonna lie, but somehow I get burnt out, and then a new Turtles thing happens. I'm like, oh yay, Turtles! And because like Mutant Mayhem did that, where I was like, I don't know, but hey, Mutant Mayhem, I'm gonna buy everything. So
I'm gonna. Right? It's just there's a part of me that wishes this was a 6-inch figure or 4,
agreed.
Or smaller. Because again, it's once you start collecting 1/6, you kind of have to. For me, anyways, I don't live in dirt cheap America, so I have to stay in my lane as far as real estate goes.
Exactly.
But it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard not to get this. But he looks so beefy and meaty that he's going to take up space at 1/6.
Yes, absolutely. So it's definitely for a specific kind of thing you're looking for, and if that's your thing, it's really cool.
Are we getting to use the term that Alex is now ingrained in my head? Are we getting more than one portrait with this?
I would assume so. God, we should have asked that during the thing, shouldn't we?
Well, that's why maybe I should be going to these conventions.
Please. Don't threaten me with a good time, Doel. All right, let's keep moving on here. Animated Real. This is so weird. We talked about this in the panel, but the animated series, The Real Ghostbusters, that's not its name. This is stupid. I'm sorry. It's The Real Ghostbusters, right?
Oh, yeah. I was like, first I wasn't sure what you're talking about because I think the image was small and I never I don't even see the red letters above it. I just see The Real Ghostbusters. Like, I didn't even notice that was there.
I know this isn't Mondo. This is like Sony giving this to Mondo to be like their logo, but I'm just like, what are you doing? This is silly.
Because now there's people that don't know the difference. They think, oh, The Real Ghostbusters? You're talking about McKenna Grace.
Oh, shoot. Then it should be The Real Ghostbusters, the animated series, not the animated series, The Real Ghostbusters.
Yeah, the animated series, The Ghostbusters. Way to do it. From the Mondo.
From the Mondo. Yeah, the animated series, The Real Ghostbusters. The Ghost, The Busters.
That's what it is. They're real, the 6-inch.
So we saw a renders for Winston with what looks to clearly be Sandman.
Yep.
Awesome. And then we've got Ray with Gash, which is kind of a shocking. That's I don't know, like a little bit of a zig to zag here with this one. I like that.
It is, but it's nice because
it's a good pick.
We've seen Alex's work. Give a props to my boy Alex.
Absolutely.
Co-hosting with me, alongside me on Gotham City Tonight every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific. He's gonna kill it. Like that ghost is gonna look so damn good. And then already because he's also a big boy, and if that's the scale, that's another well over $100 figure right there.
Yeah.
So this is amazing. I'm very excited about this. I'm hoping that Ray, I don't know if you know why I'm saying I'm hoping. I'm just going to text Alex later, but I'll tell you what I'm going to text Alex ahead of time.
That he needs his stuffed Stay Puft as an
No.
accessory? Oh, okay.
Well, oh, actually, yeah, I'll add that too there. But I also hope he has a portrait where he's wearing the helmet for the Ecto 2.
Yes, agreed.
Right? Because even...
Or Ecto goggles. I guess you could put Ecto
goggles
as an accessory.
Ecto goggles would be a great accessory as well. I would love to see... to be honest, before I see a Mondo Ecto 1, I want to see a Mondo Ecto 2.
I kind of don't. I agree. I agree with that take. An Ecto 2 would be fun, and it won't be as expensive, ideally. It'll still be expensive. It's Mondo, but...
Right. And they'll do it right in the sense that it'll be a 2-seater. Like, and even if they did it where if they came with 4 portraits with helmets with the Ecto 2, I wouldn't be as mad. I don't know how that works. I don't understand how contracts work with toys, Jay.
Neither do I. I have no idea.
So I'm just throwing this out there as just a fun little fantasy booking.
I will say, hearing the strategy behind this ghost selection, and if they can pull it off the way that strategy was spoken to me, I think it'll be really cool if they can pull it off the way they want to pull it off.
Cardboard Galaxy calling over saying portrait. I can't help it. Alex has like ingrained it in my head because he corrects me on Gotham City Tonight all the time. And so now it's like I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble from Alex when I don't say portrait.
Let's keep moving on. Janine, she needs to be packed with something.
Yeah, you guys all chose the genie, correct? Like that's what I heard a lot of that.
I saw a couple comments in the video, the Mondo tour that I did, saying the genie packed with Janine. But what would you pack Janine with?
Mrs. Rogers and Precious.
Yes. That's it.
That's my pick.
That's it.
And then, guess what, Mondo? Throw another idea your way. You can take it for free. Make a Safubi-sized what?
Yep. Agreed.
And then then you can put that with your... It doesn't need to be crazy posable. It's Safubi. Because it's just a T-Rex with this really gnarly looking mouth.
Yes.
So just make that kind of could tower over Janine and the rest of the boys as well.
I love that. I think that's perfect because it does tie into Janine. Like they have the interactions and stuff in the firehouse.
Oh, she gives her the tour. She tries to possess her at one point. It doesn't, because realizing Janine doesn't have access to the containment unit.
Probably they're not watching right now. Don't know if they'll watch afterwards because they're probably still packing up their stuff at New York Comic-Con. But Dolers, I think you need to drop that one in our group chat with our Mondo friends. I think that's it. I think that's the take.
Yeah,
but they have to make the decision. But I think that's a great suggestion.
I'm also feel very biased whenever I say Mrs. Rogers' Neighborhood. I know it's only episode 3, but it's also my favorite episode.
It's a great episode.
It's so dark. I would do anything if the Peter came with the possessed Peter head with.
I know.
Like I would do anything.
But maybe they could throw that in this set. Like maybe that's a workaround to give us another portrait.
Yeah, maybe just anything. And thank you for saying portrait. I do hope they do the Jubilee thing as well, where they give her the popping bubble gum, the bubble gum bubble.
Yes,
as an extra head. For those of you in the chat getting mad at me and my for this 1/18.
Why is it be so vulgar? It's called a portrait, Doll.
Yeah, this 1/18 scale premium figure. I hope has an extra portrait for Peter Venkman. So it's just I don't know. There's so much to do with Ghostbusters. I feel like we're finally getting Maddie did a great job with the movie stuff. But man, now I'm like, I don't know. This has really reinvigorated my wanting to collect and buy Ghostbusters again.
Agreed.
And I feel like I haven't felt that way in a very, very, very long time.
Agreed. Just real quick, love these IP reveals, gargoyles. I don't know if Alex is doing or not, but whoever they pick, damn, it's going to be incredible.
Dude, if Tommy Hodges is doing gargoyles, sign me up.
Yeah.
If they let him do it in his style. by the way, I still want Tommy Hodges to do a line of McDonaldland figures for Mondo. Okay, let's keep going.
Ooh, yes, and do it with how they're doing the Goofy. What are they calling it? The Mondo crew or buddies or whatever it is, where they're doing a pack in like they did with the Darius set and the Ariel monsters, and they're doing it here with a Goofy movie, like throwing a few figures, but maybe not as much articulation. McDonaldlands would be cool. Agreed.
I can't wait for these. I love. First off, Goof Troop is probably in my top 3 Disney afternoon shows. It's a very underrated show because I know we all love the Ducks. Because nothing beats a Disney Duck show.
Agreed.
But the fact that every character except for Mickey is very well fleshed out.
Exactly.
The fact that and Goofy is no exception to this rule.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that they built upon that, and Pete as well.
Yes.
I love that show. There's something, I don't know. I actually appreciated it more when I got older. Of just like extreme Goofy movie and extreme, like also very, very good. I'm very excited for this line. I will be getting all of it because
you get it in one fell swoop. You get it all.
But I want more than one wave of Goofy.
Yeah.
Because I want PJ, I want Pete, I want Peter's whole family.
Yep, I agree.
Right? I want Pete's. I call him Peter, like I know him. Like, what am I doing? And then hey, Goof, right? I want Goof. I want Max. Goof.
Yep.
I want
Powerline. What's Pauly Shore character's name again?
Pauly Shore's character. I hope that there's a hand that has the leading tower of cheese.
It has. If this set
has to
does not come with the leading tower of cheese, we will say it's a failure.
Yeah, that'll be the thumbnail. Did Mondo fail Max, Goof, and friends? It's I honestly, Bobby, thank you. Oh, now he's changed his name again. Stop.
Now just Dave.
All right. I'm going with it. I'm just going with it, Dave. I'm just going with it. Still love you.
But that's what I'm saying. If this goes well, Tailspin. If you watch the booth tour that I did with them, they basically dropped the same thing. Rescue Rangers, Darkwing Duck, like give it all to me. And then also Gage was talking about needing I want 2017 DuckTales, which I think is my favorite.
That's one of the best shows ever made. If you have not watched it, it is one of the best shows ever made.
It's on Disney Plus. It's 3 seasons. Do yourself a favor if you haven't watched it. Pop it on.
Hey, do you know what else I would love to see Mondo do? Just to even expand the more Disney and the more more modern stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Those Mickey Mouse cartoons that have been coming out since 2015 to 20.
Yeah, those shorts that they made the ride out of.
Well, they made the ride. Yes, they made the ride out of the shorts, and then plus they did this amazing Christmas special where Donald doesn't fly south, and it is the most.
It's really
unhinged cartoons I've ever watched. And then they did all the shorts, right, where they go get groceries for a barbecue, and it's another unhinged episode.
It is like a Ren and Stimpy level of unhinged applied to classic Disney characters. It's a wild show. Any of those shows.
Good. And I would kill to have the toys of that, because that version of Daisy and Donald where they're like, they get well, we don't want to hang out with Mickey and Minnie, so we're going to pretend that we're sick, but now Mickey and Minnie are going to come over and try to take care of them, and it turns into a horror movie. It's so good. The roller skating one. Anyways, I'm listing again. I get it.
You're getting listy again.
I list when I'm excited. But yes, Tailspin. I'm just listing Disney Afternoon. Give it all to me. Just give it all to me. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Oh my God. An alien. There's so much here. We could spend all day, but it's a really cool. It's great. Mondo's doing this. We're saying
Mondo, do Muppet Babies as well. All right.
Oh. You can't just stop listing on Muppet Babies.
Sure. That's the bar. That's the bar.
But them tapping into the Kenner stuff, I think is great. So Mondo, bravo. That's all I'll say. Maybe they'll win Best in Show. I don't know. Hey, these 2012 Turtles. Speaking of different takes on Turtles, NECA doing these 2012 Turtles. They kind of previewed that they were going to do them.
Did they show Ice Cream Kitty? that was in the
They
render.
did. Oh, I did have a picture of that. Hold on. Did I move it over to my
Ice
computer?
Cream Kitty is the reason
For
that
the season?
yeah, it's the reason for the season. Ice Cream Kitty is like hands down one of my favorite things to come into turtle lore.
Oh, I didn't move that picture over. I'm sorry. But if you watch my booth tour of it, it's in there. It looks great.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone go look up Ice Cream Kitty. Just look at pictures. Just do a Google search of Ice Cream Kitty. Just look at photos.
Google it. All right, come on. Work
Right?
for a living.
Yeah, do your own research.
But still, I think this was really cool. A lot of people were upset, at least with NECA. Like I did that booth tour walkthrough or whatever, and they were like, "Where's Gargoyles? Did they lose the Gargoyles license?" Well, NECA's still doing Disney stuff, so no.
Right.
And I assume they'll get to it when they get to it. I don't know who would ask, or they'll say when they want to say whatever they need to say about it. We have figures that they showed they haven't released yet, and until we know for sure, we just don't know. But they haven't lost the license because they're still working with Disney. And if you have one Disney thing, I think you got all Disney things then usually. So
hey, one more thing that NECA. Hang on. First,
yes, please.
Hang on. I gotta stop for a second, take a deep breath, collect my thoughts.
Okay.
I hope we get to the point where we can get Terflytle, Michelangelo as as his little like superhero fly character that he does. I hope we get to that. Now, another thing that NECA showcased and they showed off or previewed or whatever you want to say, debuted at New York City Comic-Con. They're doing Toonie Tears What We Do in the Shadows.
Yes.
Thank you, NECA, for listening to me ramble on about what we do in the shadows and telling you to do it for the past year and a half, maybe 2 years now. Thank you, NECA, for listening and doing it, because that made me squeal. I was so giddy. Thank you for everyone who tagged me in it. It makes me very happy. I love to be associated with that show. It's great.
No, yeah, I agree. I think it's really cool. I've watched some of it. I haven't watched all of it, but it's a really funny show.
I'm getting a Matt Berry toy. I'm getting a Matt Berry toy. This is so exciting.
They showed us the Count, another figure in the Sesame Street sets, the Ultimates. I'm pumped for these. I'm buying vintage Palisades Muppets toys because they scale with these, so I can have an Ultimates Jim Henson section on my toy shelves. I agree. Showed off an Ultimate Pee Wee Herman that looks really good. You didn't see this?
This one got right by me. This is
well, there you go. Consider yourself informed.
Is it coming with that backdrop?
I don't. It better. Why not?
Is it coming with Terry? Is Terry different?
Terry's coming with it. Terry, and then the two other alternate portraits.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I hope it comes with this backdrop. I hope we get Conky and Magic Screen.
Maybe you just get other sets, like you do a Conky Ultimate.
Cherry alternate.
Cherry, yeah. Yep.
Right? You just keep making more characters, right? Cowboy Curtis, all that stuff. You could add in more of the smaller characters.
Cowboy Curtis, you got to get the Lawrence Fishburne likeness rights, though.
They'll do it. Tough. They'll get it. They'll get it. First try, no warm up.
I love it. I think that would be great. I think it'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for that. And then also, I've been avoiding the Ben Cooper stuff, but these DC ones, these Super Friend ones, are so much fun. Like, these are gonna be hard to pass.
I want the Gremlins one. I haven't seen any of these up here at all. I guess I don't know if I should check Big Bad Toy Store to see if I can get them.
I haven't seen them at retail here either, but a bunch of vendors had them on the convention floor. Which is like,
that's where they are.
These are coming
Scalpers,
out.
Guys. They're Scalper special.
Scalper exclusives.
Right. Thanks, Flipper. But these are great. I would love to get these DC ones as well. These are super fun.
Yeah, they're cool. They're really cool.
Cute.
And then the Beetlejuice stuff. Finally get some new Beetlejuice figures. And we've got kind of his tour guide look when we first saw him kind of come out from his his grave there. I think that's awesome. And we also
Dante's
got
Inferno.
yeah. This is again another great set. So for Beetlejuice fans, you get some Beetlejuice love.
I can hear this figure. This toy's so good.
But anywho,
Gift with purchase. What's the gift?
I'm guessing the backdrop from the actual place. I don't know.
Wow.
Actually. This QR code should work on your TV screens right now, people. So even though you weren't at New York Comic-Con, you can just scan this right now and it should work. I'm guessing. I think that's how that works.
Are they going to make what's their faces? Did they ever say? Are they going to make Adam and Gina Davis?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe. If these do well enough, why not?
I would love if they came with the portraits where they like mess up their heads.
Agreed. That'd be fun.
Those are just fun. So even if they can't get the likeness to them, if they just came out with them and their scary heads, I think that'd be
monstrous.
A lot of fun.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. That'd be cool. We already talked about Sentinel. Oh yes, Doel, I wanted to talk about these with you. The 5 points, 89 Batman figures, going straight Toy Biz with it, including making a Batmobile to go with the figures. But what are your thoughts on these 89? I also have the pictures of the animated series Batman stuff, but what's your thoughts on these?
These again, I think these 5 points are killing it. I'm refraining from getting them due to space. How many Batmobiles do I need? All this stuff. But again, this is so good. I love that they're doing these Kenner variants as well. Hang on, let me just take a deep
breath.
Right?
Dick Grayson in there.
They are getting a Dick Grayson in there. If I wasn't already collecting 500 different DC lines, I would probably get these.
And the thing is, I agree. I have not committed to these at all, but I got
the Schumacher, the Flesher Superman ones. That's it.
Yes, yeah, those sets look really cool, but it's kind of like if you are space constrained, well, these figures are small, they look great, and you're getting vehicles that are also much smaller than other vehicles. Yeah, exactly. And so, this is kind of a great option to get cool, great looking figures with vehicles that are much smaller than most collector stuff is right now. So I think it's really cool.
I think these are great. I think these are absolutely wonderful figures.
Yeah. So I might pick up one or two. Okay, this set.
Dude. Okay, I think you guys were talking about this at the panel, and you were saying, like, is there a way to get the rest of the family and the dog, right?
There has to be a path. There has to be a path towards Flintstone completion. Correct.
And there is. Because I went through after that, and I was like, okay, there's got to be a compilation on YouTube of Fruity Pebble commercials.
Yes.
God bless YouTubers, because there is. Dino has appeared in a lot, and there was like a time when you could get like the little like Flintstone figures, those little plastic PVC ones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Dino was in those commercials. Wilma and Betty have both appeared in commercials. Mr. Slate has appeared in commercials.
Mm-hmm.
I also want more Fred and Barney's. I want Barney in all his disguises, like when he's being a rock star. I want him. Like, I want all of it.
Agreed.
I think this is so much fun. You and I are both nuts for Flintstones.
Mm-hmm.
The Serial Path is great. I want that Tony the Tiger when it comes out. I think that's a must-have. Give me the Apple Jacks frog. I never ate Apple Jacks, but give me the damn frog. Give me the Trix Rabbit, Sugar Bear, Honeybee. Yep. I'm listing again. I'm excited. But it's just like these are so much fun, but these Flintstones look so good.
This is where it's like, I agree. Like, there's so many mascots that I would love to get to, but we are both Flintstone stans, and we have had this desire for like just legit Flintstone toys, like just give me straight up Flintstones. I don't want, and again, I've been kind of going around and around trying to scratch this itch. I've gotten the Flintstone kids toys from the 80s. I've re-dived into the movie, the live action movie figures. And it's all me just trying to roundabout way get to this place of Flintstone Nirvana. And maybe this is that path. But to your point, only if we can somehow get all of the characters.
I'm still going to get these two. Like I am, but you're right. I need the family. I need Pebbles. I need Bam Bam. I need Hopper, like the Rubbles pet.
Yep.
I need all of it. So there's got to be a way to get it. I'm not sure. Because this is our first Flintstone toys we've seen in well over a decade. It feels like. I think McFarlane had it for a bit because he was coming out with Hanna-Barbera statues, but they call figures, but they were statues. But they were nice. They were really nice because they did the one with like Dino on top of Fred.
Yeah,
they were really nice. They were really well done. So I'm really hoping that it's not just a like someone's. I think it was Chris B, like Kellogg's and all that. I hope it's not just post cereal.
Agreed.
I do hope that we are getting that they're able to do Hanna-Barbera because even if they're
doing it with Scooby-Doo, so
they're doing it with Scooby-Doo, which I'm hoping this will lead to again Jetsons, Yogi Bear. I'm listing. God damn it! I'm trying to catch myself.
But it's I can't help it. But at least for not even just our generation, but previous generations, like Hanna-Barbera cartoons were a bedrock, no pun intended, to our Saturday morning cartoon experience. And it is one that, unlike a lot of the more modern of their era cartoons that we watched that were essentially toy commercials, there weren't really toys for all of these reruns of classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons. And so we've been wanting these forever.
I still feel like we've never got that definitive animated Flintstones line.
Agreed.
Of articulated action figures. There's been stuff that's like well past like or well before our generation of figures, but it's still not what I'm looking for, even though they did make like the big Brontosaurus that Fred works on.
By the way, one of my pickups maybe is a long lost something that is related to this, just so you know.
And we'll hang tight. Hang tight.
It was like I didn't know these existed. That's one of your teases.
Okay.
I've already teased a lot that I burgled something out of the Mondo party, but there's even more. So
he's stealing and just buying toys. That's what he's doing.
So hey, this is gonna be an exciting After Dark. We have to wrap up here soon, so I'm not doing After Dark until well after dark. But a lot of things in there. So if you want to become a patron, $5. Come check out my New York ComicCon hauls. A lot of cool stuff, including a toy line I didn't know existed that I picked up there. Vintage toy line. Really
all right. What else is left that we need to talk about? Otherwise, we could just end her here. Oh,
well, okay, that's cool. Street Fighters, but we got to talk
Street
about
Fighter
this.
is great, but I don't think there was any new announcements with Street Fighter. It was just showing off what they had. So
we got to talk about
the Street Fighter line is great. Oh, and these, yes.
We got to close on this.
Okay.
More superpowers. It's seemingly great looking figures. I don't love the Dick Grayson. His head is too big, I feel like. I don't know. What's your thoughts on the Dick Grayson?
Okay, so I'm okay with the Dick Grayson. I wish the Lobo body was bigger.
Agreed.
So
yeah, it's a little undersized.
That's where I am. I wish he was. I wish they were using that Kilowog style body, size body for him. But the Jay Garrick and Adam, they look great. The maskless Batman that's a dream figure for Superpowers line, so it's great to have that. Now it makes me even more itchy to try to find a Superpowers Clark Kent, like the original one. So now I'm getting that made me itchy to be like, okay, now I just need to go to some toy shows and shit and just go get it. Because there usually is one somewhere at a toy show. So I just need to get it. And again, I think we've been talking this a lot about the Death Return of Superman figures. This is I knew the Kryptonian regenerative suit was probably going to get made before anyone else. But here it is, but with a nice mullet Superman. So again,
you got mullet now.
If they repaint this Superman with the head to do like just the classic red and blue, I won't be mad at that. However, I want Eradicator, Cyborg, Steel, Superboy.
Agree. You need to complete the set.
I need to repeat those. Now,
I like this call out about Jace before we get into the big elephant in the room. Like the classic Robin, is Jason Todd, isn't it though? It does look, has the Jason Todd middle part thing.
Yep. It does. So we'll see. But now to call out the BS that we see, right? Thank you, Matthew Howard. We need women in this line so desperately. So desperately. And I understand that we are now dealing with like a toy maker who's very stubborn. And once he says no, he will stick to it for a long time. So I just really wish there were just women. And now I'm not even going to get picky. I'm not even going to start listing them because we all know.
We know.
Even if you're watching in the replay, even if you're watching Geek Dad Life for the first time, you know who we need out of the women. And that's all of them.
Yeah. There's just...
So just do it.
We said at the panel, the fact that from the 80s superpowers to today, the only female has been Wonder Woman in this toy line is a travesty.
Did you know that we are at over 100 figures in this line? Only Wonder Woman? That's a crime.
It is. It is a crime. And agreed, it's time to turn the page, Todd. McFarlane female stance is BS and low. It's not low-key sexist. It is straight up sexist.
No, yeah, it's flat out
misogynistic. And I can see this angle of, because we've heard how this line doesn't sell all that well. And I could see where it's like, okay, well, tooling another feet. Like if we do one male figure, we can do like Adam. Would we want a female figure over Adam? Absolutely. But it's a pretty easy repaint to just, it's not that much lift. But good God, we are far past the point of you gotta throw us a bone here, Todd, and tool a female figure that can net us 10 female figures, or 20 feet. I don't know. Figure it out. We have modern science.
Correct.
Like you gotta put the money in here, because if you're worried about sagging sales on these toys, like I guarantee you, if we get some of these long desired female characters that we have wanted since the 1980s.
Correct.
How is that not going to be good for business?
Hey, here's the other thing with that too. You were saying how somewhere it was announced that, Superpowers isn't selling that well. How can that be? They sell out. All these pre-orders sell out. Then everyone's like, I can't find them in store. Right? Like, and I understand that a lot of the time it is certain characters. So yes, manga Batman is probably going to peg warm like crazy.
Absolutely.
But is Brainiac peg warming? Is Black Manta peg warming?
No.
Right? Or I guarantee you that's like, what is it? Bizarro sold out. Actually, that Bizarro, that gray and black Batman with the good body sculpt, and that new Superman that's smiling. Those are all selling out and are hard to find already, and they're not even out yet. You have to you can't pre-order them at some places.
And the thing, Wonder Woman's jet was a hot item, and the thing is, when he does female figures, they sell well.
Yeah,
like it'd be one thing if they didn't sell, but like every time they've done them, they've sold well.
Yes,
it's the 17,000th Batman where you're like, maybe that one sits around for a little while, but like, come on.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm really happy that they have changed the buck on this Superman.
Agreed. So, it's night and day. It's night and day.
Thank you to the folks at McFarlane for listening to Jay and I complain about it for the last 4 years. Right.
But if I don't, we joke that they're listening, don't know if they are, but God dang it. I'm past the point now where I want to talk about these toys, because you gotta solve. It's not okay, these are cool, but you gotta do this. No, it's like I kind of don't want to get into this until you actually give us some other females, because it's ridiculous. Correct. At this point.
Yep.
It's
just
ridiculous.
Some women. some women, some mix in some more Teen Titans there.
Like,
too.
you tell me a Harley Quinn would not sell. You're an idiot. I'm sorry.
I bet. Just do a 3-pack of the Gotham City Sirens. Do Catwoman,
Yes.
Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, and I guarantee you, people
it sells
will go,
out.
People
It's
will
so
go
stupid.
bonkers for it. We'll go bonkers, right? You could do another one too if you're doing Earth 2 stuff, right? Because we're getting JSA, Power Girl, Huntress, Red Cyclone, right?
Yeah.
Like pop, get them out.
And of course,
no,
he's
it would
doing
be-
Power Girl in the main line.
Well,
What?
well, I mean, the Sydney Sweeney of the Superman world. I mean,
Yeah, right?
We love her.
Anyway, all right, that's it. That's the soapbox.
That's it. Thank you, everyone, for listening to us complain. I'll do my plugs. You'll find me on Tuesday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific on.
You're talking about the Ecto 1, right?
No, I think we're done talking about Ghostbusters for a while. I think we're Ghostbusted out. And then if you want more Ghostbusters news, tune in to, I don't know, tune into some other show. No, I'm just kidding. We will talk about it, whether I have a say in it or not. And then on Wednesday nights, I'm not on for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to be in Toronto, but I think Alex is going to have, I think he's trying to. You'll know soon enough.
Okay.
But Alex is going to be doing an episode. He's going to be doing his own Gotham City bootleg. And I believe he's going to have the guys on from Mondo to talk about Scarecrow, which he was also a big part of there too.
Yep.
Jay, he might ask you to join him on that show. So just
I am around. I am ready.
Okay, you're at.
I was waiting by my phone.
Excellent.
Waiting for the call
to kind of help talk him through it. But yeah, because I think I was supposed to call him. But anyways, I'll get it all set up for him. And yeah, that's it. That's where you'll find me. Otherwise, I'll be back in November. We do have some guests lined up for Gotham City tonight in November. It is going to be wild. That's all going to be leading into Dolcember. What is Dolcember? Hang tight. Announcement's coming soon.
Oh, I love the tease. I love the tease. Yes.
There it is. Yeah.
Quick plugs for me. After Darkers, again, we got a banger teed up for you tonight. It's my New York ComicCon hauls, including a vintage toy line I didn't know exists that now I'm really excited about, and something that I burgled from the Mondo party that happened in New York on
Thief.
And then Dan Larson and I have been diving into the G.I. Joe Real American Heroes series with 1984 this past week, which was a ton of fun. So if you haven't checked that out, go subscribe to Toy Geeks, the podcast, wherever podcasts are.
I actually had to turn off the last episode partway through.
Okay.
I was getting so I have a shelf of like vintage Joes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it just made me it made me itchy to get more. It made me itchy to take mine off the shelf and play because for those who don't know, I actually have a Cobra tattoo as well. I love G.I. Joe, and especially these old ones. It just made me so like, and of course it's fall, so Christmas is coming. I was just getting like itchy. I was like, Joe's. God, I love Joe's. It was like, and I've been trying to stay away from classified because that will just open a whole bag of worms I can't afford. Holy moly, dude. You guys are enablers, man. It's brutal.
Sorry for any eBay deep dives we have put you on.
Yeah, but it also feels really good. It has made me feel like the best type of nostalgia where it just took me back to playing with toys and the adventures I had. It was you guys are great.
We really do try to tap into like just playing with toys as a kid and like the psychology behind it, your toy trauma. Toy Geeks is the #1 hottest toy podcast. Well, thank you everybody that's listening. If you enjoy it, definitely review, rate it on wherever those things are. But yeah, have not recorded the next episode yet. Again, was at New York ComicCon. Dan Larson was teeing up his Secret Galaxy X SGX. I haven't talked. I hope it went really well today. It looked really cool, the pictures that I saw and stuff. I've heard great things from people that attended. But I can't wait to kind of talk to him how that went.
The photos look fun.
Yeah, it looked really, really cool. But we'll record the next episode this week sometime, and I'll probably post it almost immediately after. So another episode will drop this week. I don't know when that'll happen. Haven't really nailed down the recording time yet, but stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's it. We'll see you all next time. Oh, I gotta find the music. Thank you so much. We'll see you then. Hasta luego. And goodbye.